Hi everyone, welcome to Faith Friday. I'm Father Sam Kachuba. The other day I got to see some of my family, and my cousin's daughter was there. She's 7 years old, and she was walking through the church and she was counting. She was counting pews. So I said, "How many pews do I have in here?" And she did a quick finish up of her count. She told me how many it was, and I pointed to one of the pews. I said, "How many people do you think could sit there?" She said, "Maybe 20. I said, "I think you're thinking of 7-year-olds. How many adults could sit there?" She goes, 10. It's a pretty good number. It's a good guess. It's quite accurate, actually. So 10 people. All right. How many people do you think I could have in the whole church then, if we can fit 10 people in the pew? Now, she's too young to multiply, so she can't do that kind of mental math. But you know what she did? Of course, she just started counting. And she counted off by tens, and she gave me the number. So this is pretty brilliant. So I was impressed by her ability to figure out how to problem solve. Really quickly, I just threw a problem out there for her, and she got it. She understood exactly what she needed to do. She could have just said, I don't know how to multiply, or I don't know, do you expect me to sit here and count all the seats? But she figured out a way to do it that was going to make it easy, and then she did it. It got me thinking about how we approach God. See, God has something to offer to us, and He knows the answers. He knows what it is. So I know the answer. I know how many people can sit in the pew. I know how many pews there are. I know how many people can fit in the church. God knows all these different things, but He wants us to respond. He wants us to also desire that knowledge. Look at the whole course of salvation history. And what do you see? God again and again and again coming to His people, calling them, inviting them to come and know more about Him. And there are some people who say, yes, I want to know more. And so they listen to what the prophets say. Some people decide that they're going to spend their entire lives studying the scriptures. And so they dive in. Those are the great rabbis of the Jewish tradition. Those are the great teachers, the scholars of the law that Jesus is so often in conversation with in the gospel. But then there are others who decide, I don't care. God, you might have something you want to say to me, but I'm not really that interested. This doesn't matter very much to me. In the Advent season, we're being invited to remember that God speaks to us. He has something to say. But He doesn't just tell us everything and force us to understand it. No, on the contrary, He speaks the truth to us, and then He invites us to break it open. He invites us to seek to know more. He invites us to engage ourselves and to try to understand. We may not have learned all the skills, like my cousin has not yet learned how to multiply, but we're invited nevertheless to break open the Word, to break open the sacraments, to come to understand more about what it is that God is doing. See, He's always at work. He's always inviting us. But He's given us the ability to respond, to say something in return. So in this last week of Advent, dive in to knowing more, to asking the questions, and to figuring out how you can find those answers that God wants to give to you. God bless you. Hey, one more thing I forgot to mention in the video. I want to invite you to listen to a new podcast that I'm part of called Roar Like the Lamb. Paula Pena, who's the youth minister here at St. Pius, and I have launched it. It's a chance for us to talk through some of the big ticket stuff that we deal with as Catholics, some of the things that make our faith so complicated and yet so beautiful, some of the things that are really simple to understand, but we need to really dive into and flesh out and understand more deeply. So give us a listen. Roar Like the Lamb. You can find it anywhere you get your podcasts. God bless you.